Listen up. If you're not educating yourself every single day, you're in big trouble. The world doesn't wait for anyone. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. You're stagnant, you're irrelevant, and worse, you're invisible. If you're comfortable with that, keep doing what you're doing. But don't expect any success to come your way. The truth is, the horrors of not keeping up with daily learning are harsh. You'll miss out on opportunities. You'll get stuck in the same spot while others move past you. And before you know it, the world has left you behind. But here's the good news. If you start educating yourself every single day, you'll be unstoppable. Knowledge will set you apart. You'll have confidence. You'll stay ahead of the competition and open doors that were previously out of reach. So, stop making excuses. It's time to get serious about your future. Step 1. The need for continuous learning. Let's cut to the chase. If you think you can stop learning after school or college, you're making one of the biggest mistakes of your life. The world doesn't stop just because you've hit your comfort zone. You're not in a vacuum. Information, technology, industries, they evolve every single day. If you're not constantly learning, you're already outdated. And guess what? You won't even realize it until it's too late. Look around you. The people who are succeeding, they're the ones who are constantly feeding their minds with new knowledge. They're reading books. They're diving into podcasts. They're enrolling in online courses. They're learning from the people around them. They're staying ahead. While you're stuck in your own bubble, watching the same old things, the world is moving on. You see, the problem with stopping your learning is simple. You stop growing. Your brain starts to rot from disuse. Every day you waste not learning is a day you'll never get back. Your competition, they're out there grabbing every scrap of knowledge, sharpening their skills, building their network, and eventually you'll hit a point where you realize you're behind. People around you are talking about new ideas, new technologies, new trends, and you have nothing to contribute. You'll be stuck in the past, trying to figure out what happened. Let me tell you this. The world doesn't care about your past successes. It doesn't care about your degree or your resume. The only thing that matters is what you can do right now. And if you're not learning every single day, you're falling behind. And here's the real kicker. You can't afford to fall behind. Not in today's world. Every single industry is evolving faster than ever. Technology is advancing at an insane pace. We're talking about AI, machine learning, automation, remote work, digital marketing, data science, the list goes on. If you don't understand what's going on in your industry, you're going to get left in the dust. Think you can coast by? Think again. Everyone around you is adapting. The people who are succeeding today are the ones who've made learning a habit, not just a one-time thing. So, what's the solution? The answer is simple. Continuous learning. You need to make learning a part of your everyday routine. If you're not reading, learning, or practicing every single day, you're doing it wrong. You're stuck. You might not notice it at first, but as the weeks, months, and years pass, you'll see the effects. Opportunities will pass you by, and eventually you'll wonder why you're not getting the results you deserve. Let me give you a reality check. No one owes you anything. No one cares about how hard you worked in the past. It's what you do today that matters. If you're not constantly learning, you're making yourself irrelevant. The only way to keep up is to commit to learning every single day. Let's talk about the digital revolution for a second. The rise of AI, social media, big data, all of these things are transforming how businesses operate. Think about how the way we work has changed over the past decade. 10 years ago, remote work was almost unheard of. Today, it's the norm. AI and automation are quickly replacing jobs that were once done by humans. If you don't keep learning, you'll wake up one day and realize that you're no longer qualified for the job you have, let alone the job you want. In fact, you could argue that the only way to stay relevant in any field is to commit to continuous education. You can't just rely on what you learned in school. That's a thing of the past. The best professionals are the ones who understand the importance of learning constantly. They understand that knowledge is power, and the more they know, the more opportunities they'll have. But it's not just about gaining new skills for the sake of it. Continuous learning is about keeping your mind sharp, staying ahead of trends, and positioning yourself as an expert. When you make learning a habit, you become the person others turn to for answers. You become the leader, the innovator, the one with the insight to solve problems and create solutions. But if you stop learning, you stop growing, and that's when you start dying professionally. The greatest athletes in the world, they practice every day. The top musicians, they're constantly perfecting their craft. The best entrepreneurs, they're always reading and always looking for ways to improve. So, why should you be any different? You need to follow that same relentless pursuit of knowledge if you want to get ahead. Success doesn't just fall into your lap. It comes from making daily efforts to get better. Here's the hard truth. If you're not improving every single day, you're deteriorating. Stagnation is a form of failure. And failure isn't something anyone can afford if they want to be successful. You might feel comfortable right now, but trust me, that comfort zone is a trap. It's the fastest way to see opportunities slip through your fingers. Complacency is your enemy. But here's the flip side. The reward for those who commit to learning is massive. The world opens up to you when you're constantly evolving. The more knowledge you gain, the more doors will open. You'll be the one people come to for advice. You'll be ahead of the curve, anticipating changes before they even happen. You'll be ready for the opportunities that others don't even see coming. Now, it's up to you. You can either continue down the easy road, staying stuck in the same old routine, or you can choose to get better every single day. You can choose to invest in yourself, your future, and your career by making learning a priority. The choice is yours. Step 2, the daily commitment. All right, it's time to face the truth. If you think you can get ahead without making learning a daily habit, you're in for a rude awakening. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's not about waiting for the right moment or hoping for a breakthrough. Success happens when you put in the work day in, day out, no exceptions. Do you want to make it? Do you want to rise to the top? Then you need to stop with the half-assed efforts. You need to make a commitment, no excuses. No shortcuts. If you're not learning something new every single day, you're doing it wrong. That's the brutal reality. You think you can make progress by showing up once a week? Think again. This is about doing the work every day, even when it's tough, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, and especially when you'd rather do anything else. But here's the catch. It doesn't have to be some grand effort every day. You don't need hours of your day. What you need is consistency. Small actions that add up over time. That's what this is about. 15 minutes, 20 minutes shell. Even 10 minutes of learning each day. If you can't commit to that, then you're not serious about success. Now, let's be clear. Commitment isn't just about a nice idea or a good intention. It's about putting the work in no matter what. That means blocking off time for learning. Make it non-negotiable. You won't miss an important meeting, right? So why would you miss an opportunity to get better? You wouldn't skip a workout if you wanted to stay in shape, so why would you skip learning if you want to be at the top of your game? No more excuses. The people who make it to the top are the ones who show up every damn day, putting in the work, even when it feels like no one is watching. You think you don't have time? Everybody's busy. I don't care if you have a job, kids, or a million other things on your plate. Guess what? Everyone else is dealing with the same stuff. The difference is the winners find a way to make time. They carve out time to learn, even when their day is packed with other responsibilities. Why? Because they know the value of daily improvement. They understand that small steps add up to massive progress. That's the difference between staying stagnant and moving forward. Let me be blunt. You need to get rid of the "I don't have time" excuse. If you're serious about growing, then learning has to become a part of your everyday life. No exceptions. You think top performers made it by taking shortcuts? Hell no. They worked harder, they pushed through when others quit, and they made learning a part of their daily routine. This isn't a once-in-a-while thing, this is a daily grind. The beauty of making learning a daily habit is that it doesn't take a ton of time. You can start small. You can read a few pages of a book each morning. You can listen to a podcast while you drive or work out. You can watch a tutorial while you have lunch. These aren't huge commitments. These are small, manageable chunks of time that anyone can spare. But you have to do it every single day. You see, the problem is that most people don't stick with their daily commitments. They start strong, but after a few days or weeks, they stop. Why? Because it's hard, because it takes discipline, because it's easier to let the distractions of life take over, but that's exactly why those people never get ahead. They stop when it gets tough. But the people who succeed, they keep going. They push through the hard days. They wake up and grind no matter what. And don't tell me you don't have the discipline. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small, but commit to it every day. It's about building that mental toughness. You need to train yourself to follow through, even when you'd rather do something else. Discipline is everything. If you can't commit to learning every day, then you're not serious about success. Period. Here's what will happen if you stick to this. One day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll have built a massive reservoir of knowledge. You'll have gained new skills. You'll be sharper, faster, and more capable than you were the day before. And those small daily commitments will have stacked up into something powerful. People will start to notice. You'll become the go-to person in your field. You'll have the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to take on any challenge. But here's the flip side. If you don't stick to this, if you don't make learning a daily habit, you'll get stuck. You'll become obsolete. While everyone else is pushing ahead, you'll be left behind. You'll wonder why opportunities are passing you by. You'll wonder why you're not moving forward like you should be. The answer is simple. You didn't commit. You didn't put in the work. You didn't make learning a priority. Now is the time to change that. No more waiting for the right moment. No more excuses. Make learning part of your daily routine. Whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes, make it happen. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the closer you get to the person you're meant to be. So stop procrastinating. Start today. Make the commitment to learn every day and watch how everything in your life starts to shift. Step 3, practical ways to educate yourself. It's time to talk about action. You want to learn every day, but how the hell do you actually do it? Don't worry, I'm not going to give you some vague advice. I'm going to give you practical, actionable steps to make sure you're improving every single day. First off, Red, if you're not reading, you're wasting time. Books are a gold mine of knowledge. They're written by experts, professionals, and people who have been where you want to go. Every book you pick up is a shortcut to understanding something new. And no, I'm not talking about reading some random junk on social media. I'm talking about reading actual books, articles, or research papers that help you grow. It doesn't matter what you're in to read about your industry, your craft, your passions. And don't just read it once and forget it. Keep reading. Make it a habit. Dedicate 20 to 30 minutes a day to it. Trust me, it adds up. Second, podcasts. I'm sure you've heard of them. There's no excuse for not listening to podcasts during your day. Are you commuting? Listen to a podcast. Working out? Listen to a podcast. Even when you're doing chores, podcasts are a great way to sneak in learning. Pick a few that align with your goals and make it part of your daily routine. There's no shortage of content available. People are sharing knowledge 24/7, and you can tap into that whenever you want. Don't just listen to nonsense or fluff. Listen to the experts, people who have already achieved what you're trying to achieve. Learn from their experiences. Next up, online courses. I don't care if you've never taken an online class before. It's 2025, and you can learn anything from anywhere. All you need is a computer and an internet connection. From coding to business to marketing to personal development, there are endless resources out there. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, or even YouTube are packed with expert-led courses. And guess what? You can take them for free or at a fraction of the cost of a college degree. If you want to stand out in your field, you need to make courses a regular part of your routine. Don't sit back and wait for opportunities to land in your lap. Create your own opportunities by leveling up your skills. Then watch tutorials. There are a million tutorials on YouTube. Whatever you need to learn, there's a tutorial for it. Do you want to learn graphic design? There's a tutorial. Want to improve your public speaking? Watch a tutorial. Want to learn how to code? Tutorial. Anything you want to master, there's a tutorial that can get you there faster. Tutorials are a great way to learn practical hands-on skills. But here's the thing. You don't just watch, you practice. You take what you've learned and apply it immediately. That's how you solidify knowledge. Watching a tutorial is one thing, but applying it is what sets you apart from everyone else. Now, here's something a lot of people overlook: conversations. I'm talking about talking to people who know more than you. If you want to grow, you need to surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you to think differently. Stop hanging out with people who agree with everything you say. Instead, go find people who will make you uncomfortable. Ask questions. Pick their brains. Learn from their mistakes and successes. Networking isn't just about getting a job, it's about getting smarter. You don't need to know everything yourself, but you need to know the right people who can help you learn. Finally, experience. It doesn't matter how much you read or how many podcasts you listen to. Nothing will teach you more than real-world experience. Put yourself out there. Try new things. Fail. Learn from it. If you're always staying inside your safe little bubble, you'll never grow. The more you expose yourself to different situations, the more you learn. Experience is the teacher that no book or podcast can replace. You won't learn everything through theory, and that's the reality. Start doing things, experimenting, and embracing challenges. Don't hide from difficult situations. Dive in head first. You see, education isn't just about hitting the books or sitting in a classroom. It's about finding every possible way to inject learning into your daily life. Do you want to get ahead? Then stop waiting for the perfect moment and start doing it now. Take control of your learning process. Every day, you have the power to make choices that get you closer to your goals. If you want to be great, stop making excuses. Educate yourself constantly with these practical methods. But remember, it's not just about consuming knowledge, it's about applying it. Action separates the people who talk about learning from the people who actually learn. Don't be a talker, be a doer. Use every method and every resource at your disposal and turn knowledge into action. Apply what you learn, and that's when the real magic happens. Step 4, the consequences of ignoring education. Time for some hard truths. You think you can skip out on education? You think you can ignore learning every single day and still get by? Let me tell you exactly what happens when you ignore education, when you get lazy, when you stop pushing yourself to grow. The consequences are severe, and you won't realize it until it's too late. Let's start with the obvious. You'll get left behind. Do you think you can just stop learning and keep up with the competition? Think again. The world doesn't stop for you. It doesn't slow down. It doesn't care if you're too busy or too tired. Every day that you ignore education, every day you skip learning is a day you fall further behind. You won't even notice it at first. It'll start slow, little gap here and there, but then it snowballs. While you're sitting still, others are moving forward, developing new skills, gaining new knowledge, and getting ahead. And you're just stuck. You'll look around one day and realize that everyone else has passed you. They're ahead in their careers. They're on top of trends. They're getting the opportunities you're too unprepared to take. And by then, it's too late to catch up. Do you want another consequence? Let's talk about stagnation. Stagnation is the silent killer of success. It's easy to get comfortable, right? But let me tell you this, comfort is the enemy of progress. The minute you stop learning, you stop growing. You might think everything's fine because you're doing okay right now, but you're not moving forward. And moving forward is the only way to succeed. The minute you stop pushing yourself, you start sinking into mediocrity. Stagnation breeds complacency. When you're not learning, you're not improving. And without improvement, you're stuck in the same place. While others are adapting, you're fading away. The world moves fast. And if you're not progressing, you're regressing. Now, let's hit you with some harsh reality. Missed opportunities. They're all around you. They're everywhere. But you won't see them. You won't grab them. Why? Because you're not prepared. You didn't take the time to learn. And when opportunities come knocking, you're caught flat-footed. You don't have the skills, you don't have the knowledge, and worst of all, you don't have the confidence to step up to the plate. And those opportunities, they'll go to someone who made the effort, someone who kept learning, someone who kept getting better, someone who's ready when the moment comes. While you sit back and wait, everyone else is stepping up, taking charge, and seizing their moment. You'll sit there wondering why you're always passed over. It's not bad luck. It's because you didn't prepare yourself. You didn't educate yourself when you had the chance. But the real killer? Complacency. When you get comfortable, when you stop pushing yourself, that's when you get stuck in a cycle of nothingness. Complacency kills. It kills your drive. It kills your hunger for success. It's easy to convince yourself that you've learned enough, that you know enough. But that's the moment you stop growing. That's the moment you stop climbing. Comfort doesn't breed success, it breeds stagnation, and it breeds failure. You might be getting by, but you won't be winning. You'll be stuck in your little bubble thinking that everything is fine while everyone around you is leveling up. Complacency is the fast lane to mediocrity. You'll also destroy your confidence if you ignore education. How can you feel confident when you're not prepared? How can you walk into a room and own the conversation if you don't have the knowledge to back it up? Confidence doesn't come from pretending to know something. It comes from actually knowing your shit. When you make learning a habit, when you educate yourself every day, you build confidence. You stop doubting yourself. You stop second guessing your abilities. You know you're ready for anything. But when you ignore education, you get that nagging feeling in the back of your mind that you're not enough. And that feeling, it'll eat you alive. It'll hold you back in every part of your life, your job, your relationships, your goals. When you stop learning, you stop believing in yourself. And trust me, that's a dangerous place to be. Now let's talk about something real failure. If you keep ignoring education, you're setting yourself up for failure. And not just a small failure, I'm talking about a complete, avoidable collapse. You'll fail when you're faced with a challenge and you're not prepared. You'll fail when new technology or new trends come into play and you can't keep up. You'll fail when the competition has moved ahead while you've stayed stagnant. You might think you can coast for a while, but eventually you're going to hit a brick wall. And when you do, you'll realize that you had the chance to learn, but you chose not to. And that failure, it's on you. And here's the worst part. You'll never even know how much you missed out on. You'll never know how much potential you had that you wasted. You won't see the opportunities you lost, the career moves you could have made, the personal growth you could have had. Ignoring education doesn't just harm your future, it robs you of what could have been. You'll look back one day and ask yourself why you didn't push harder, why you didn't learn more. You'll regret not making learning a priority, but by then it might be too late. So here's the bottom line. If you keep ignoring education, if you keep refusing to put in the work to get better every day, you're choosing to fail. You're choosing to get left behind. You're choosing stagnation over growth, mediocrity over excellence, doubt over confidence. You're choosing to be irrelevant. And trust me, the consequences of that choice, they'll haunt you for the rest of your life. So stop making excuses. Start learning. The only thing standing between you and success is your willingness to educate yourself. And if you don't take that step, you're choosing to lose. Your future is in your hands. Don't let it slip away. Step 5, the rewards of daily learning. All right, enough with the harsh reality. Now, let's talk about the payoff. Because if you commit to daily learning, if you get your act together and educate yourself every day, the rewards are massive. And when I say massive, I mean life-changing. The kind of rewards that put you on top where you belong. First off, let's talk about growth, real growth. Not just in your knowledge, but in your ability to handle challenges. When you make learning a daily habit, you expand your mindset. You stop seeing problems and start seeing opportunities. You stop getting stuck when things go wrong. Instead, you start adapting, thinking outside the box, and coming up with solutions that others can't even imagine. You'll grow in every sense of the word. Your brain will become sharper, your skills will expand, and your capacity to take on bigger challenges will increase. Every day that you learn, you're building your own personal growth machine. Next, confidence. There is nothing more powerful than knowing you've put in the work. When you educate yourself daily, you gain an immense amount of confidence. Why? Because you know what you're talking about. You know the skills you've developed. You know the effort you've put in. And that's a confidence that no one can take from you. When you walk into a room and you've been learning every day, when you've made an effort to know more than the person next to you, you walk taller, you speak louder, You dominate the conversation. Confidence comes from knowing you're capable. And when you commit to daily learning, you build that confidence piece by piece. And then opportunities. Do you want doors to open for you? Do you want people to seek you out? Well, it starts with making learning a daily habit. When you educate yourself every day, you become an expert. You become the one people turn to for advice, for insight, for help. People will start to notice your growth. They'll see you're always learning, always evolving, and they'll want to be a part of it. That's when the opportunities start pouring in. You'll get job offers, collaborations, and business opportunities, You might even get people reaching out to you for mentorship. Daily learning isn't just about personal development. It's about positioning yourself for those golden opportunities that only come to those who are prepared. Let's talk about success. The long-term kind. The kind that lasts. Daily learning isn't about instant gratification. It's about building a foundation. You won't see overnight results, but that's the point. Success built on daily education is strong. It's sustainable. It's not a one-hit wonder. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more success you can create. It compounds. Every single bit of knowledge you gain, every new skill you acquire, builds on the last. The bigger your knowledge, the bigger your success. If you keep pushing yourself to learn every day, you'll look up one day and realize you've built something solid, something that can't be taken away. You've created a long-lasting legacy of success. Now let's get to money. Let's face it. Success isn't just about feeling good about yourself. It's about results too. And guess what? Daily learning leads to more money. It's that simple. When you invest in yourself, your skills, and your knowledge, people are willing to pay for it. The more you know, the more valuable you become. You'll become the go-to person in your field, the one everyone turns to. And when you become an expert, your earning potential skyrockets. Whether you're negotiating a higher salary, landing clients, or building your own business, knowledge gives you the leverage to make more money. But none of that happens if you don't make learning a daily habit. What about the ability to adapt? The world changes fast. If you're not adapting, you're falling behind. But daily learning gives you the ability to keep up. In fact, it gives you the ability to anticipate what's next. When you're learning every day, you start to see patterns, trends, and ideas before they hit mainstream. You get to be the one ahead of the curve, leading the way. That's how innovation happens. That's how you stay relevant in a fast-moving world. When you educate yourself every single day, you become a master of change. The world keeps evolving, and you evolve with it. Nothing holds you back. Nothing surprises you. You control your future. And final, freedom. Yes, freedom. When you commit to learning every day, you're not just gaining skills and knowledge. You're gaining the freedom to choose your path. The more you learn, the more doors open up and the more choices you have. You won't be stuck in a job or situation because you don't have the right skills. You won't be afraid to take risks because you know you're prepared. You'll have the freedom to go after what you really want, whether that's a new job, starting your own business, or even just living life on your own terms. Daily learning gives you the power to create your own future. So, what's the bottom line? The rewards of daily learning are undeniable. You'll grow. You'll become more confident. You'll gain access to new opportunities. You'll achieve long-term success. You'll make more money. You'll become adaptable to any situation. And you'll have the freedom to live life on your terms. But here's the catch. None of that happens if you don't take action. You have to make the decision today to start learning, to commit to yourself and your future. Do you want success? Do you want all these rewards? Then get off your ass and start learning every damn day. Because if you don't, you're choosing the alternative. Stagnation, missed opportunities, and regret. All right, here's the truth you've been avoiding. It all comes down to this. If you want to succeed, if you want to stand out, if you want to become the person you were meant to be, it's all about daily learning. No shortcut, no excuses. If you're not learning every day, you're wasting time. And time is the one thing you'll never get back. So stop pretending like you have all the time in the world. Stop waiting for some perfect moment to start. The time to get serious is now. The rewards of daily learning are too massive to ignore. Do you want growth? Do you want confidence? Do you want opportunities? Do you want success? It's all within your reach, but only if you commit to this. Only if you make learning part of your daily routine. It's not about doing it when it's convenient. It's about doing it every day. No excuses. The consequences of ignoring education are brutal. Stagnation, missed opportunities, a lack of confidence, a future full of regrets. Is that really the life you want? Is that the path you want to take? Because that's what happens when you stop learning. And if that's not the future you want, then start learning right now. Make it non-negotiable. Remember, the world is changing every damn day. If you don't stay ahead, if you don't keep learning, you'll get left behind. And let me tell you something. You can't afford to fall behind. You can't afford to stay stuck. You need to rise. You need to get better every single day. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep making excuses? Or are you going to take control of your future? The only way to win is to start today. Commit to learning every single day. Educate yourself. Push yourself. And watch how everything in your life starts to change. The power is in your hands. So, stop wasting time. Start now. Your future self will thank you.